everybody, and welcome to the eighth ever episode of the Illuminutty podcast. I have a special guest for you today, but before we get into that, I'm going to talk about some recruits that trimmed their uh, schools list down and scheduled official visits. One, one of the guys I'm really excited about and wanted to start off with is um, Chris Whitehead out of Lloyd C. Boyd High School in Virginia. He's an elite edge guy, can do it all. Elite first step and menace in the backfield, and he's very, very interested in Ohio State. As a matter of fact, he's scheduled two visits, one for April 4th and the other for June 19th. I'm really excited to have the chance to add him to the class because he's elite and he would pair great with DJ Jacobs. They're both them on the edges would be awesome. We'd be wreaking havoc all over the backfield. Another guy that's very high on Ohio State right now is A.J. Randall, and the thing I like about him is we were on him very early. He started out as being ranked a 3-star, and then we offered, and he exploded. And he plays wide receiver, running back, outside linebacker, edge. He's all over the field, and he's got tremendous athleticism. He's long and lanky. He's a ball hog, and he would be a great versatile piece for Matt Patricia to work with. And I really encouraged to see what he brings to the table at the next level because, like I said, obviously when you play that many positions, you're very versatile and very dynamic. And as many players as we can get of that body style, I'm all for it because those are the type of guys you want to load up on those because they can play multiple positions. And I really like his competitive fire, and he's great friends with Quentin Cipher as well. So that's always interesting. And those guys, both of them are ball hogs, so that would be a great tandem to add to the class if we can get them. But without further ado, I want to introduce my special guest, Michael Caldwell. I got a chance to get to know him a little bit. He's very knowledgeable, and he wanted to give this podcasting thing a try, so I wanted to give him a shot. Michael?
Alrighty, guys. So I'm gonna start off by letting people know a little bit about me. I am visually impaired. I'm only able to see shadows and light perception. I have been a Buckeye fan for a very long time, pretty much my whole life. Um, Pretty ironic how I became a Buckeye fan, which was back in 2000 was the first year that I pretty much got into college football. It kind of was the same way with the NFL as well. Although I had a favorite player that I followed before I really got into the NFL, which was Derek Brooks. So that's how I became a Buccaneers fan. Ohio State, I really wasn't a big too much into them until Tressel came to the Bucks and pretty much turned it around for us. The rivalry, at least. Uh, Man, so and I really just wanted to try to get up on here and try to see where I can get myself into, talking some Buckeye football with people who are knowledgeable, people who know the game, and who don't uh, shade, code anything. They give it the real deal and their honest opinion. And there's so many uh, people that I could actually thank for the uh, knowledge that they pretty much put out because it also helps me learn more and kind of understand what the game is about. It's great. We have great people that work for this podcast, and I definitely appreciate Eric and Mika for giving me this shot on here, and I'm looking forward to even doing even more with these guys because these guys are great, and Other than that, we can talk about whatever topics we want. Mika, if you would like the Indiana topic, whichever you want to go, and so forth. Uh, I'm ready to get into some topics.
Cool. I wanted to start off with talking about the my feelings about the Brady Edmonds situation and his drop and some of the backlash that he's been experiencing. Because I think it's ridiculous. Because this kid has done nothing wrong. He's been an exemplary commit. I mean, on and off the field, he's been a great peer recruiter, great kid, and I mean, he got invited to Elite 11 people, so obviously he's not a scrub. They don't invite scrubs to that event, so I really don't understand the the fall, other than just to for clickbait ratings and the fact that he committed so early because he really is elite. And if you don't believe me, go watch his film. Like Max Prep even has some of his games up, I believe. If you want to sit and watch his games, I mean, he's elite. And I know people knock his mobility and everything, but he's not a statue back there. He has great pocket presence and he can move when he needs to. And he's very difficult to bring down. I mean, he's 6'5", 230 almost already. So he's college ready in terms of his body measurements already. So I don't get the backlash. What are your thoughts on it, Michael?
I think my thoughts are is just people are going to uh, say things that I mean, just put it this way, Mika. Even if this guy was all world top at the tops, as all world as you can get, you're still going to have these people question this guy's ability, question this guy's heart. Uh, that I mean, you've even even this is kind of dragging me back to thinking about not player related, but us getting the flashback that these first of all these fans that make death threats and talk about kids the way they do, uh, these guys don't understand that first of all it takes toughness to play the game. It takes having the strength, the motivation, the being healthy, uh, and having the right coaches in places, which is we do. But some of these players just don't. It's first of all, it's hard to get into Ohio State anyway. Uh, Second of all, none of these fans that are having these conversations and talking bad about these players and coaches. How many of these fans you think could even take a look into at Ohio State and get a maybe yes? It'll most likely probably be 1%, or if any of them that even gets a shot at that at all. So I think these people are just they do it just to do it because they're able to do it. Social media is the reason why we are where we're at today. It and it's easier to drag it on things on as well, having this type of stuff going on. And I feel sorry for the players that get that type of crap going on, but you know just because those fans do that doesn't mean every Buckeye fan does it. Well, every fan base has their own issues. They have their own bad fans, they have their good fans. So Buckeye Nation, respect these players. They are Buckeyes. They are part of us, and we need to accept that. I don't, I mean, Jake Fielding, yes, he bothered me missing field goals, but in the end, he was still a Buckeye. He's still Buckeye family. He's still a brother of the Ohio State University. So we've had other players in the past that we've questioned. Uh, and that we didn't like that they did certain things, or if they missed a block, or if the quarterback threw an interception, you know, it doesn't really matter because at the end of the day, it's about those players and those coaches. The fans don't really count about what they have to say. Of course, everybody has a chance to give their opinion, but some of these fans, these players don't care about what these fans have to say unless they get on social media and see these bad things written about them. And I know that is hurtful to a lot of these players, and they probably see some of that. And I honestly think, Mika, do you honestly think that maybe, and I know Jake Fielding wasn't a great kicker, but do you honestly think could some of those things that he was seeing on social media, do you believe some of those things were kind of a corporate to, what he's become and why he had some of the non-success at Ohio State?
Yeah, I mean, like, that would get in anyone's head. Like, if you're hearing negativity constantly and you're absorbing that, and, you know, us as adults, I mean, I know even myself, I have a hard time staying away from social media, even
Yes.
though I know I should. So I can't expect a kid to stay away from it when I can't.
Right. Yeah,
So,
because these, I think these fans just, it's never going to go away. It's something that's going to be here forever. So we can sit and talk our heads off and try to tell these people, hey, they shouldn't do this or they shouldn't do that. They need to go. They need to be respectful. They need to do this. They need to do that. But they're going to do whatever they want. They're going to say whatever they want because they're able to, and there's no way stopping it. It's just, I don't know. I don't know how to, other than just say, just ignore it. But there's no way ignoring those type of things anyway, unless you're completely off social media, which is, it is very hard to stay off of it. So, um, good thing
I
is a lot of these players probably aren't on it when they were in class or doing certain things going on. Maybe, I'm not sure, but it's a lot of chaos, and I think these fans just, some of them can be very, very horrible in what they say and how they say things. It's just, hopefully a lot of these players just don't take a lot of that to extreme and just ignore it all and just play the game. They're there to get an education and play football. That's it.
and Eric touched on it when on the Ohio podcast last night. Just because these people say on social media that they're Ohio State fans doesn't mean they're all. They could be Michigan fans or
Sure.
fans of another team pretending to be Ohio State fans and attacking recruits, and to make these recruits reconsider coming to Ohio State. I just don't like the treatment. I think it's despicable because he's been everything we could want in a recruit. And to attack him and to come after his family, there's no excuse for that. We're better than that as a fan base. And I just wanted to address it and give my support to him and his family first because I don't like seeing it. And I wanted to make sure that whether he sees this or not, he has video proof that I'm not one of those people.
Sure.
So,
No. And Buckeye Nation, you I mean for you fans out there that are doing those types of things, my message to you is if you're a Buckeye, then you don't destroy another Buckeye's pride. First of all, we're all in it together. We all love this university. We all love everything about this university. And if you love your university and you love your Buckeye football, then you better respect every player on the field and every coach on the field. Yes, we might not like some of the coaching decisions. We might not like it when a player misses a block or throws it or doesn't catch the ball or misses a kick. But at the end of the day, it is a game. We follow it, we love it, but we all just need to realize at the end of the day, it's a game. It's nothing more than that.
well said. And to move on to our second topic for today, I wanted to get your opinion on the Indiana NCAA situation and the rumors that they might be taking away the title from Indiana.
See, Mika, here's my thing about that decision. And if I honestly, I could see them getting Indiana for one specific reason, and we talked about this and a couple days ago, I think, about it. Um, because they are a smaller brand. I mean, they're not Michigan, they're not Ohio State, they're not, Miami, they're not Alabama, they're not even in that ramification, even near those teams' uh, stock or hype that they get every year. Uh, I could see Indiana getting sanctioned, but I don't believe it would be fair, as we all know. Um, do you think that Michigan, or not Michigan, but the NCAA would get any pushback from Indiana saying, "Hey, well, there was a former team in the Big Ten that did all this, and you put all these rules in the record books about how Michigan didn't follow the rules and they broke every single rule, and how those rules say in the laws that, hey, if you break these rules, you get this and that, you get this and that." And they didn't. The NCAA didn't follow none of that. First of all, they pretty much are hypocrites. Second of all, I honestly don't think Indiana's going to get a bowl ban. It's possible, or not bowl ban, but or vacated wins. I just I don't understand why they would even. I understand that if there was an ineligible player, but if I'm not concerned, and let me ask you this: I don't know if this is a true statement because I don't know how things work like this. Mika, do you believe if uh, the running back for Michigan, Blake Corum, at the time, so if he was working before this NIL crap was going on or whatever it may be, and the vacuum thing that he supposedly had Connor Stallions and then him, had to do whatever it was going on, wouldn't that rule him as an eligible player as well, uh, from playing as well? I mean, I don't know how that would work. How does that work?
I think it should have, but the way that I understand it, it was done in a way that they worked around it.
I still think, just because the big brand Michigan is, I think that's why they really got away with all that. Um,
And I 100% agree with
if
that.
this was back in 2012, Mika, we would be talking about Michigan probably having a 5 to 10 year bowl ban, and probably 3 or 4 seasons of wins vacated. Um, and now that the NIL's around, it's easier for teams to say, "Hey," because they paid Bryce Underwood, what was it, $10 million or whatever it is. I mean, if they're willing to pay a 17-year-old kid that much money, then that tells you what they were willing to pay to get rid of the sanctions, so they didn't get wins vacated. I just believe that the money was involved, and that's the reason why the Wolverines didn't get vacated or anything like that. But as far as Indiana, what do you think, Mika? Do you think that they will get the win vacated, and is the championship vacated, or do you think at least, I don't know, maybe the regular season vacated, or would they take all that away in general?
I really, really hope not. I'm leaning towards they're not going to, and this is just, you know, a threat because they gotta say something, just like they had to say something with the Michigan stuff. But I honestly don't know. I lean more towards your point because they're a smaller program. They're easier to go after than, say, like a Michigan or something because they're a smaller name and they don't have the cachet that like a Michigan does. But I
Sure.
guarantee I guarantee you, if the NCAA does move on this, that there will be pushback. And if I'm Ryan Day and if I'm the rest of the Big Ten, I'm lockstep behind Coach Signetti if they come after Indiana because Signetti ain't gonna stand for this. And if this happens, Ryan Day needs to be right behind him. and go to the Big Ten and say, enough. You didn't come after Michigan, and they did much worse stuff. So either you deal with them or we're done, is what I would do.
This is honestly, Mika. I think if let's just say Indiana does get the championship vacated, um, I think Indiana will still probably stay in the Big Ten, of course. Now there's a possibility that I think a lot of these teams like Ohio State, Penn State, Oregon, uh, of course USC and Michigan. We're talking about leaving the Big Ten anyway, but who cares? Even if they did, Michigan is not even a great rivalry anymore. Yes, it's the game, but they don't respect the game. So I do love it when we beat them. We've lost to them four prior years. I only count really 1 year because 3 of the years they were cheating. Uh,
Me-
so I I think it's honestly I kind of hope Indiana doesn't get a vacated championship or a vacated wins or anything like that because that just would make me feel even grosser about the Michigan situation. So
Yeah. And to be honest, like doesn't make sense to me because yeah, he was wasn't eligible, but they all also gave him a temporary injunction. So what was
sure.
he supposed to do? Just like sit on the bench the entire time and twiddle his thumbs, or what was the point of giving him like a temporary thing if he was not going to be allowed to play? I don't know if Eric knows more about it than I do. Eric, care to chime in? What are your thoughts on the temporary injunction situation? Should he have been allowed to play or not? Was he just supposed to sit and twiddle his thumbs the entire time?
Hey, if they ever given him, if they gave him the eligibility to play, he was able to play. I don't see why you look at the situation now and say, "Hey, well, he shouldn't have been allowed to play. We're going to do this and do that." If you already knew he was ineligible before the start, not as Indiana, but the NCAA themselves, you could have prevented him not to play in a sense anyway.
Yeah,
But I mean, I'm not sure. Pretty, I mean, Eric or somebody probably has more insight on that because I didn't really follow fully of the ineligible. I didn't even know the ineligible player's name. I just seen it on social
uh,
media. So
Larry, Larry Moon, I think is his name. Or
gotcha.
something Moon, I think is his name. And I mean, like I said, like they had every opportunity to put into this. Why wait till the end of the season? Why wait till they got the championship to do this other than just to prove that they have teeth in a weird sort of way and just say, we're coming after you guys.
Yeah,
See, we know we can be we can be tough. Coming after these guys.
yeah, it's horrible. I think it's ridiculous, but they
Don't
don't
you?
deserve it vacated at all. If that's the case, then the NCAA needs to go and take Michigan's three wins against Ohio State away, take their championship away. Actually, every win that they played, and I kind of looked at them, and I know I've done a lot of Michigan talk, but I kind of, Mika, do you honestly, not to really get off the Indiana subject, but you know what's funny about the Michigan football team and the Michigan basketball team?
What?
So during the year that they won the championship, they won like what 10 games or so by 30 points or more. Was it 5 games? Well, this year in basketball, they've won 10 games by 30 points or more. It just doesn't seem right to me. These guys are getting away with a lot, and it's very disturbing to me. And I honestly, we all know as Ohio State fans, if we were in this situation and we were doing what they were doing, we'd be toasted. We'd be yeah. It just would. Man, I don't even know how to even really. It's you just watch it and see it going on like this. You're just like, what? I mean, they're basically puppets for the NCAA.
Yep, basically, and I couldn't agree more. And it makes me sick that we're, you know, even having this conversation because Indiana did something historic, and to even uh, put out the idea that you gonna take that away is just sad to me because I feel like the only reason you're doing it is to come after a small guy and try to prove a point, and it's sad.
Sure, and that goes to my whole point about just because them being a smaller brand. That's um, you can kind of take a look at any Big Ten team. Hey, even if it was Maryland or a Northwestern that that was doing, they would go after those teams because those teams don't have the cachet as Ohio State, Michigan, Miami, Penn State, or any team in that in that manner. I think it's disgusting. I think, if anybody does wrong or does something wrong, it doesn't matter how big of a brand you are and what type of money you bring into the sport. When you do something that is ineligible or illegal, you should be punished by the rules that are written down in the rule books. And for I don't know. I it kind of just it's like, man, are these guys, they got everything backwards in a sense. It's mind-boggling to me, really.
Yep, and to that point, the NCAA recently released a memo that said they were gonna crack down harder on tampering and things. What are your thoughts on that, and do you think they're actually going to do that?
So yes, I do think they when it comes to that, yes. And what's crazy about it is they're going to crack down on that before they do actual NIL related deals. Uh uh so that before this NIL thing gets figured out, the tampering thing, you will see teams get hammered for that. The tampering, that's going to get settled before the NIL crap does. Uh so there though I really, we've all spoke about this. There should be a commissioner for the for college football. Just one main commissioner that does all the. We need a Roger Goodell to oversee these things in college football because these 31 people that do. I think that's how many people that are in the that work for the NCAA or they're all in the same. I think they said there's like 31 people, if I'm not mistaken, that work for the one part. I forget what it was called, but I kind of was looking stuff up yesterday. Um, yeah, the board of something for the NCAA. They said there was like 31 people that worked for them, and it really, honestly, I wish college football is actually uh, even even during the BCS era again because these college football playoffs thing too. I don't know if you want to make that a different topic, a different day, Mika, but I think that's something I would kind of like to get into discussion about too as well. Um,
Oh, sure, we can do that a different day. I'd be
sure.
happy to have you back on to discuss your feelings on that. But yeah, I just wanted to touch on the Indiana stuff, and they almost have to cut come down on tampering because it's getting ridiculous. You got coaches like Davo Sweeney like calling other coaches out and making it a public spectacle. So, and I think I addressed it on my earlier episode on the Illuminati. I think that's why Dabo Sweeney did it.
I got a
Was
quick question for you, Mika. So this is kind of funny, but it might not be funny, at least not for Dabo. If Dabo was winning, do you think he'd be calling out any coaches?
I honestly don't think Davo would do this. I mean, I have my issues with Davo, but I do think he has boundaries and
Sure.
somewhat of integrity. So I have my issues with him being a dinosaur and whatever, and not wanting to adjust to the new portal and the college game and stuff, and j- just some of his all shucks, let's play the underdog, even though we win championships and everything else, and that sort of fakeness. I do think he's fake to a point, but I do think he has integrity as well, and I honestly don't think he would be doing any of this, especially while a player is actively enrolled somewhere else and taking classes.
Yeah, sure. That's very big. Great point. S- so yeah, I kind of agree with you 100% there. There's just a lot going on. The tampering that needs to be taken care of. There needs to be, like I said, there needs to be a NCAA commissioner that oversees these things. And right now, it's the wild, wild west. I honestly,
Now I
it, it,
can
it's
now I
really going to be hard for somebody to even kind of put rules into place because of how many rules have been broken in the past and how many rules are broken now. So it's going to be a tough thing for that somebody that does uh, decide to do that, and if and when it happens.
now I feel scummy because I actually defended Davos for something. Um, I think there's pigs flying outside my window right now.
You was just being nice, Mika. We just like you always are. It's all right. I only said that about Dabo because I'm just like, well, guy, Dabo, if you were winning still like you were 8 years ago, you wouldn't be talking smack. You'd be acting like you're the king and you're the, you know, top of the top. So
And and to your point, I think the only reason like Clemson has had such of an issue is because Davo's unwillingness to adjust when he had a chance to adjust, and
sure,
he's playing catch up right now when it comes to embracing the portal and NIL and everything else.
sure,
So there's that, and also wanted to address some running back recruits that are coming visits. Uh, One guy that I'm really excited about, and he's an underranked guy in my opinion, and I said it in my evaluation of him over on our database. Nigel Newcook, he's a running back out of Gainesville, Georgia, and guys, he is explosive, and he can do it all. He's visiting uh, uh, June 19th and April 4th, I think, as well. And another running back that's um, also visiting is the guy that I was talking about is the teammate of Blaine Bradford, and I think he could be something really special. He's got a great stutter step. I did my evaluation on him today. He's very impressive, and these are guys because I think Ohio State's going to try to take uh, two running backs if we can, preferably one like uh, David Gabriel George, and then I would love to partner him with a guy like Newcook because he's highly impressive, and I think they would complement each other really well. And just we need to fill that room with talent because, and I know people say that the running back position, you can get a running back out of the portal and be fine. But when you got a chance to bring in high level young guys that are interested in the program and with the age of the portal, I say bring them in if you can. And to address the whole Ohio State's uh, recruiting other quarterbacks, I talked about this with Vader earlier. The reason we're recruiting other quarterbacks has nothing to do with losing faith in Brady Edmonds. You have to have bodies in that room and people that are able and have the talent to play. And in this day and age, with the portal and everything, you gotta be ready and prepared in case a guy decides to leave or has a really successful year and goes to the NFL early. I mean, I like Champ Mons and everything, and I would love to be able to get him and Brady Edmonds, or him or uh, Brady and RJ Day, or one of the other Ohio QB recruits that we post about on our recruiting database. Shameless plug. If you haven't checked that out yet, please do so, because a lot of hard work goes into that. But anyway, I would love to see us get another guy, and it's not like Brady is saying no, don't bring in another guy. He's fully encouraging it. He relishes the competition, and that speaks to kind of player he is. To take it back to the first topic in the episode, like he's not afraid of competition, and that's another reason why we should be thrilled to have him in the class, because he's not only an elite football player, a great kid, but he's an elite competitor as well. So let's just be happy with what we got and celebrate it while we have the chance, because a lot of other programs would give their right and left arms to be where we're at right now. But those are my thoughts on that. What's your opinion, Michael?
I think those. I like everything you said, Mika. I think you know, let's just give these guys a chance when they do come here. It's these guys already haven't even stepped on the field yet, and these people are already complaining about what this guy isn't or what this guy's not or whatever. Just because you see what you see during on other uh, people's uh, videos or social media platforms they put out on these players, uh, our coaches know best. Uh, First of all, we have the greatest coaches in college football. We have the I think Ohio State is probably the best, at least for me as of now. And I know, our coaches, Ryan Day at least sometimes does to make boneheaded decisions sometimes in games that kind of get to me a little bit, but it is what it is. But he's easily to me one of the greatest coaches in college football, and his coaching staff is always great. Uh, I don't think Ryan Day has ever had a bad coaching staff while he's been at Ohio State. Now we've had bad special teams, and things like that. But as far as like fully developing their players, now we can also give the credit to uh, our coaching, our training staff guy, because he's great. And thank the Lord that Urban didn't take him away from us when he left. So
Yeah,
because that to me would probably, we might be talking a different tune here, but I'm
I
glad.
abs- I absolutely love Coach Mick, and I love the fact that we brought in Anthony Slagle too.
Yeah, Anthony
That's
Slay,
an
big get. I I love that guy. He's awesome. I actually listened to him and Bobby Carpenter on a podcast a few times. Bobby is great. I love his insight on football. He knows what he's talking about too. So I don't know if you ever. That's another person that would probably be great to maybe get on the podcast and have conversations with, because Bobby's a great guy. I love his.
oh, believe me, I've tried. I've tried. I'll keep reaching out, but he's a busy guy, so
Sure.
let let's hope. But yeah, I love him and Slakes. Slakes is just so competitively positive that I just really, I really like him. He's a positive guy, but he'll shoot it to you straight too. So he's just he's just fun to interact with and talk to. Love their show, and Steel Chambers has done a good job taking
Yes.
over for Slags as well in that spot. But thank you for joining me today. I hope you had a good time. And guys, I promise I will get the audio situation sorted out. I'll have to probably get some new headphones. I think that's my issue. Hopefully, it's not the mic. But I promise I will get it sorted out. Uh, Leave a comment. Let me know what you think of the show. If there's a prospect you want me to cover, or film you want me to break down, or anything else you guys want, let me know. I'd be happy to do it. Check us out on Patreon. Check out the recruiting database. That thing literally updates every single day. If I'm not updating it, then Vader is. If Vader's not updating it, then Podfather is. Well, it's a living, breathing document at this point. It's got a life of its own. We do nothing but watch film pretty much 99% of the time. I swear I probably dream about watching film at this point. It's getting to be a problem. I think my parents and my brother are starting to worry about me, but I love it and I love doing this for you guys, and this is a great job, and I'm proud to be part of this community, and I'm proud to give Michael a chance to get his feet wet and be a part of the community as well. He's very knowledgeable, and I look forward to having him back on in the future. Uh, Love you, Buckeye Nation. OH.
Audio. Great show. Thanks, guys.